Hello and welcome back to Minecraft. If you hear some weird noises during this video, it's just my stomach making sounds. I think I'm hungry, I'm not sure. But I am feeling a lot better than I've been feeling these last couple of days. Still a little meh, but I am feeling better. And I've come to the conclusion that it does have something to do with my sleeping, or, well, my lack of sleeping, I guess would be the right way to say it. Easy there, Bob. Easy. But today I'm going to do something new that rhymed. I thought about making this just a segment of my Minecraft series, but then I realized I have trouble keeping anything short. So I'm going to make this is a new type of Minecraft video that I'm going to be doing. Meaning that I will sometimes do a sort of video like this. It has really nothing to do with Minecraft. It's just basically like a vlog where I use Minecraft like I've done so often. But this time it's something specific, something I will be repeating a couple of times, many times maybe. And it's a kind of gaming vlog where I talk about gaming. But not just that, I am going to, in these videos, be talking about one thing I don't want in gaming. It could be a thing that is done too much, or something I just don't want to see at all, or something like that. It's something that that need to be done differently or better. And then I'm going to talk about one thing that I do want to see in gaming. It could be something that they used to do, something they don't do enough, or something something that you don't see at all. So basically, the idea I had is I'm going to talk about one bad thing, one thing I don't want in gaming, and one good thing, a thing that I do want in gaming. And these two things can be related. Sometimes they will be related, sometimes they won't. Sometimes it'll be something very specific, other time it'll be a more overall thing. So that's the basic idea. Like I said, I was going to make it a segment, but where I talk about something first and then talk about these gaming things, but then these videos would be way too long. And I would probably still watch them, but I know a lot of people wouldn't. So basically, today, let's just get started. The thing I don't want to see in gaming is cutscenes. And I'm not talking about all cutscenes. I don't mind a few cutscenes. I like a cutscene at the beginning of a game and the end of a game. Maybe two or three more during the game. But cutscenes has become too much these days. We get cutscenes all the time. And I'm going to talk about different kind of cutscenes that I don't want to see anymore. But first, let's talk about a little game that came out in, I believe, in 98 or maybe 97. A little game called Half-Life. Maybe you've heard of it. Half-Life was revolutionary in many ways, but one of the things that really made it stand out, especially back then, was the fact that it told the story through the game rather than cutscenes. Everything was told in the game. You'd hear conversation between people. Sometimes you couldn't leave a room before a conversation was over, but it still felt natural. So why did they stop doing that? The first type of cutscene that I really dislike is very close related to Half-Life, actually, to the type to the gameplay mechanic of telling the story through the game, because this is the first person cutscene. And this is, I'm going to use some examples from some games to describe these type of cutscenes. The example I'm going to use for this type of cutscene is Far Cry 3. And for those of you who've been with me for a while know that I don't really like Far Cry 3. In Far Cry 3, we get a lot of cutscenes that are still in first person. I don't get it. If it's still in first person, and most of the cutscenes are actually just people talking, why couldn't they do it like they did in Half-Life, where I still can walk around? Maybe I just couldn't leave the area, or maybe if I get too far away from the person talking, the person will say, hey, come back here, or something like that. I really hate when the cutscenes are still in first person. It feels like I should still be playing. And and to make it worse, the weird thing is, during these cutscenes, to get to the cutscenes, they have a loading screen. But when the cutscenes is over, I just return to playing. Why was there needed to be a loading screen first? It breaks immersion. Basically, it breaks immersion that suddenly can't control my character anymore, and it goes into some kind of cutscene, but still in first person. The second type of cutscene that I really dislike is actually the example I'm going to use for that is actually from a game that I do like, and that is Sleeping Dogs. The kind of cutscene I'm talking about is the small, unnecessary cutscenes. And like I really love Sleeping Dogs. It's one of my favorite games, but it had a lot of these scenes, especially one cutscene that really puzzled me. Uh, maybe so if some of you played this, you'll remember this cutscene. Maybe during one of the first missions where you have to steal some watches from a van, you get in a fight with these people. Then it's when you've beaten these people, it switches to a cutscene where you see three people running around the corner, running towards you, and then the cutscene ends. Like, seriously? Was that cutscene necessary? No! You could have easily just had these three people attack you. There was no reason for us to actually see a cutscene of them running around the corner and towards us. And you see these kind of cutscenes more frequently. Whenever I've seen a game, I can't remember what it was, but whenever a person would open or close a door, there would be a mini cutscene to symbolize it. And you see shit like that a lot of the time, where it's just unnecessary short cutscenes that has absolutely no reason or no purpose of being there other than the fact that, oh, look, a cutscene. The last two types of cutscenes I'm going to describe are both in this in one game. Now, remember, all of these cutscenes aren't just something that is only in these games I mentioned. These are general cutscenes. I'm just using these games as examples. Now, the next cutscene is the long and frequent cutscene. I'm talking about the frequent cutscene, but this is one of the in I guess most cutscenes are frequent, but this is the long and frequent cutscene. An example I'm going to use is Max Payne 3. Now, I haven't completed Max Payne 3. I haven't played that much of it because the game was really not me for multiple reasons. But one of them were the long and frequent cutscenes. You do some playthrough, go around, bang, 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 shooting, and then for let's say you are shooting for 15 minutes, and then you have to sit through a 10-minute cutscene. That might be an exaggeration, but for those of you who know, doesn't have a concept of time. But let's just say they are long, and you're like sitting there, okay, can this be over? And then it is over, and then you play some more, and then you get another extremely long cutscene, and you're like sitting there, okay, yeah, And this has also become a very frequent thing in games, that you get these extremely long cutscenes constantly. Now, the other cutscene, which I'm also going to use, Max Payne 3 as an example, and this is something that happens a lot too, unfortunately. That is the type of cutscene where you're thinking, why am I not doing that? You know the cutscene. It could be you walking here, then it switches to a cutscene to show you walk this part And then when you come to the stairs, well, then you're back to playing. It's like, why couldn't I walk that? It was because they wanted to show that your character was nervous or excited or something, and they couldn't show you that throughout the game. So they had to do that small part of you walking through a cutscene. And the other type of this type of cutscene is the one where you're thinking, that looks exciting. I would rather be doing that than most of what I've been doing. And did they do that in Max Payne 3 as well? I was like, wait, that looks cool. Why can't I do that? I want to do that part. You always see it's like when your character jumps from one roof to another, for example, or does some really cool shit, and you're like, but why didn't they make that part of the game instead of part of a cutscene? But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is way too many cutscenes. Tell the story through dialogue within the game, actions within the game, or even notes. I would rather have notes, as long as they felt natural, because with notes you can read them in your own tempo, in your own pace, and it's like, it's kind of boring to have to sit through cutscenes after cutscenes instead of playing a game. Now, there was this. I haven't played this. I saw a small amount of Metal Gear. Metal Gear. I can't remember what was it called, but it was the Metal Gear game. That wasn't the Metal Gear game. The one where they suddenly decided to switch to some kind of action game. That game had a serious problem with constant cutscenes. Now, like I said, I haven't played it, but I watched a little bit of it on YouTube many years ago, and I was like, why? It was just too many cutscenes. So that was the bad thing, the thing I don't want to see in games anymore. See, and you see why I don't make this just a segment. Now the good thing, the thing I do want in game that we don't get, and this might sound weird, but I'm going to say nudity. That's right, I want more nudity in game, not for the sake of nudity, not for the sake of arousal or something like that, but for the sake of why the fuck not. It's about time that games are treated more maturely, and this will mean nudity. But the problem is, when people see nudity in games, there's like three reactions. One is the hee 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 nudity, or it's a oh god, think of the children. And then there's the guy who just whips out his dick in wherever he is and starts masturbating to the nudity. That might not happen, but there. And the rest of the people, when they see nudity, is like, oh, controversy. It's like, it shouldn't be that way. Movies has for ages now had nudity in it, and that means pretty much all all genres of movie. You don't think that it's controversial in movies if you see a nipple, but in games it's like, oh my god, that's so brave of them. That's so bold of them to put nudity in the game. I want games and movies to be pretty much. I'm going to use this gravel. Games are here in the maturity, I guess, and then movies are way up here. And it's like, could we please at least get games up to here? Okay, let's make it a little further. I ran out of gravel. At least up to here. But I want to see more maturity, and one of those things would be nudity. And I'm not talking about pointless nudity for the sake of nudity. I'm talking about just, I don't know. I don't know what exactly it is I want to see. But I feel like games needs to come to the level where movies are right now, where it doesn't really seem like that big of a deal that you see a breast or a naked person or a sex scene, but it's still a big deal in games, because games are still considered to be something for kids only. But But the problem is, people are not like saying, "Oh my God, that movie is. You shouldn't put nudity in movies. For movies is for kids." They don't, because not all movies are for kids. Most most movies are not for kids. Games are, in general, by many, still considered to be something for children, and parents are worried about there being nudity in the games that their kids play. But you know what? The games are labeled. The games are, so if your child has a game with nudity in it and you don't want that, well, basically, it would be your own fucking fault. It would be the same as your child have a movie with nudity in it. But apparently, it's easier to control movies than games, and I don't really see why. I guess I don't know. But yeah, I would love for there to be. I mean, we used to have. We used to didn't not be a problem. Leisure Suit Larry, for instance. I loved those games, and that kind of nudity I want to see as well. The kind of immature. That's the word. Kind of nudity, where it's like fun. You used to see that in the '80s, especially in movies. Whoa, with all the sex comedies and stuff like that. And I want to see games like that as well, where it's just fun and cheesiness. But you don't even see that anymore. Just and like I said, I'm not saying that you should have nudity in all games. Far from it. I'm not saying that it should just be nudity for the sake of nudity. No, I just wish that people it would. I don't know. It'll allow for more freedom in many ways. That people don't have to worry about censoring things, or they don't have to, and they can tell a story that might require for someone to be naked, or I don't know. It just I just wish people would be a little more relaxed. That's all, pretty much. But yeah, so feel free to give me your opinion about any of the two topics I said. The bad one, the one I don't want anymore, is cutscenes, or at least constant cutscenes, or frequent cutscenes. And the thing I do want more is more nudity, but not for the sake of nudity, for the sake of why the fuck not? And yeah, hopefully there will be all the videos tomorrow. I am feeling better, and that means that I might have videos tomorrow, hopefully, but no guarantee. But yeah, I will be doing this kind of a video where I talk about one bad thing, one good thing. I'll be doing these once in a while, and hope you enjoy it. And remember, it's just my opinion. You might disagree with me, but that doesn't mean you need to be an asshole. I've seen that happen too many times on YouTube. Oh, I disagree with you. Let's be an asshole and call you names. Yeah, don't be that person. But feel free to disagree with me, and feel free to write in the comments that you disagree and why, and maybe we can have a little discussion about it. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Bye.